Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 8 of the Cylon Basestar. Now that we are getting the detail painting on the top and the very bottom, we can start putting some of the detail parts on, because they get some of that detail color too. Also, what I like to do is to get some of the fiber optics, because I drilled some holes underneath some of the detail parts. So when you at angles you can see some lighting under there. We'll want to get some of those in because it's going to be easy to get them in before you put the part on top. But let's go check it out. Well, hello and welcome back. I got the bottom saucer painted up. It's looking good. I don't know if you can see there. We got all the blues and the white stripes. Got some dark grays. So you see there's a big dark gray area here and a little bit on the tips there, and each panel section here, triangle section, is completely different. No two are alike, and even in the insides here. And then we have these pieces to put on that go across there like that. And then they get little bits of blue on them, certain ones. But I like to get them on, and I know I did them right. But because we drilled some holes for windows, I have a couple that are going to be underneath. So I figure, you know, when this is like that, you'll be able to maybe get a little bit of a light from underneath there. For ease of use, what I would like to do, like I did with the tops, is I like to get, because it's just going to be easier to get these in there now. So I'm going to put a little bit of a Tester's window maker. Yeah. And I'll dip them in. And we'll slide them in there now before we glue those down. So what I want to do is, a good thing to do, this way you can get some light at not only just direct, if you're looking directly straight on at the fiber, but if you take a lighter and just lightly heat it, or you can use a soldering iron if it gets really hot, puts off a lot of heat, you don't touch the flame against it, you just get it until it mushrooms. It'll shrink back, melt back, and it'll make this little mushroom, and that's something that'll stop at the hole. Cut myself a little piece off. I'm going to use some tweezers like this. And I'm just going to dip it in the window maker because it'll dry clear. And stick it in there. And I hit that gray. I'll touch that up afterwards. Then it'll poke through the hole there. And you can even test and see how it looks. But now when you look at, like, even from the sides, you still see the light. And then what I'm doing is just taking a little brush. I should add a little bit of water to the brush before I start dipping it in there. And I use the same brush for, it's always good to use the same brush for if you're going to use it for glues and stuff. I should get those acid brushes. Those disposable aluminum handled ones. And then you just put a little bit in here. And it also fills the hole, and there it is. And we'll do another one. I want to have windows on both sides. And again, I like to do this first. I want to get a pretty decent sized one, but cut that off again. I like to dip the fiber in the stuff so it gets a little bit on it. So when you slide it through, it won't want to fall out when you flip it over. It doesn't hurt to try to work some of that glue in the hole. I could actually probably just fill the holes with window maker. They're that small. But you really have to make sure you get the window maker to push in there. So I think the fibers, if I leave just a little bit of a... I'm going to cut them back a little bit, but if I leave a little bit, they'll catch the light a little better too. And there, and that, it's as simple as that. And then what that does is allow me to we'll use this. I think I used this last time. It's starting to glue itself together. I do have that wrench. And I think that wrench will work for this bottle. I think. I don't know if it goes down that small. No. We got this 3D printed wrench for tomato jars. It's flexible, so you can get it over top from these tomato jars, and you can squeeze. So it has like this squeezable handle, and then yeah, because these tomato jars like to freeze up, so that's great. And it does the big jars too. It's got the bigger end. But I was hoping it would grab that, and it won't. There it goes. Just gotta put a little oomph in it. Okay. We'll show you gluing this piece in. I think what I did is I just put it on this. And there's a flat spot on the model. That's supposed to line up to, but I noticed they don't fit exactly in the flat spot. There's like these two notches right here, with like on these pieces here. Let's see if I can get it up here. Right here on these gray pieces that are coming up, there's a notch there, and it's there, and that's supposed to sit in there, but they don't quite do that. And you could probably file them, but this works pretty good. But you kind of want to start here and like almost angle and then push up. So I'm just pushing them to where they fit nice and tight in the V, and that works for me. I could take my little clamps and barely, not deep enough, but they'll hold on. They're holding on. Well, let's keep trucking with the I don't need our tool. That'll work. There we go. Let's keep putting some lights in here. Again, we'll mushroom another. I don't think I have a lot to do. This one's got just one. Insert it in the hole. There, extra there. Just push it in just till it goes flush with the hull. And like I said, then I'll take this brush and Brush in that hole. And the window maker, like I said, will fill in the hole, so it makes the fiber optic and everything like a whole window. All right. So there's that one. Now the next corridor has just one. I can get to that one from above, even if another one out. Even if I put him here and he's on, yeah, I can still get to that one. So I need to do that one down way down there. So again, try to get the window maker all the way around. You want to get a good amount of glue there too, because the window maker, window cement will shrink when it dries. And then check that it's sitting in those holes nice. It seems that the mushroom makes it fit in the hole just perfect. I don't have a drill bit this small. Actually, at Wonderfest I picked up a whole nice small drill set. I mean, it goes down to 0.30 millimeters, which is tiny. You got 1 millimeter. The top row goes from 1 millimeter to 0.70, and it goes from 1 millimeter all the way to 0.3 millimeters. That's tiny. So I'll be able to, I don't even think this thing will hold them, you know. I don't even know if any of my, but I just figured, oh yeah, there it says 0.3 to 1 millimeter. It's 15 of them. But I don't even think this can squish that small. So it's going to be interesting to find chuck, but I'll find a chuck later on. That was a good deal. I forget what hobby place I got. They were really nice guys. I actually just got stuff from the Wonderfest store. Picked up a hat and those beer mugs, the pints, and an apron. I picked up an apron. They were all out of shirts in my size, which I was a little upset about. I was really looking forward to having the shirt, but they were all out in my size. But you know, I got an apron because sometimes I'm doing puttying and you know, painting or something like that, or especially when it gets to like grinding resin kits like the TIE Fighter, and I'd have this gunk all over me. So I figured, why not? I'll have an apron at home. I don't use them. I don't think I'll use it a lot, but like I said, if I get to like puttying, and I can just, or painting the bigger parts of the, you know, like the Enterprise 350s. Alright, so we need one there. This is the best way I find, is just do one at a time. Then you won't miss. This one just has that one? Yep. Please excuse my AC kicking on. It's on econo, but it likes to. In econo mode, it kicks the fan on every so often to check the temperature in the room. Oh, it fits in there nice. And then go in and seal it up. Now I felt it come out. There we go. Alright. Now this one has one, and then we're done. Because I did. And see how that one want to push through? Even just working around, I think I have that one a little too long. Just trim some of that off because it'll hit. Now let's do a double check again. Let's came back out. That's the only bad thing about the window maker. It takes a bit for it to dry. Now that they've been semi-curing, you can come through and hit them with a little more of this glue since I have some extra left over anyway. And we'll go through them again and make sure they didn't move. Probably should cut that one too because it's a little long. And I'm going to cut them back. Don't pull in too much though. That's easier to do from here because I can see just when I don't want it to look like this thing's sticking out. There we go. Keep that in the water. And believe it or not, the glue will come off this. So I love this little tray. I got that with some model paints that I bought, like a whole kit of. I'll leave that out in case I have to push any more back in. I can put that fiber away. But all right, let's glue the next piece on. But let's check the windows. And yeah, you look good. Like I said, you gotta kind of tilt the front forward and push the back until they want to hit, and then set the front part down. That way you don't get glue in a spot you don't want. There you go. And that way you can kind of push down and push it till it gets tight, and then plop it down, and then give it another push up and down at the same time. That seems to be working the best for me. This one looks like it. There we go. Skosh more. Especially now that the plastic's starting to soften from the solvent, the glue. Hey man, that makes a big difference, just adding those. I think this one, yeah, has one there. But, you know, we finally get these on, and I should really go and get these in too. They're up there, because then I can glue those pieces on. These guys here. Which will go here. And that's going to make it look so much cooler. But I think I'm going to wait for those when I get this top down, but I'm going to have to drill holes for my rod. So we'll hold off on that for just this moment. There we go. Again, remember to lift that top up, try to slide it back, evenly back until it hits, and then drop the front. And like I said, you can go back and check, because the plastic will soften up and it'll allow it to snug in even better. I've noticed. And then I'll go through with the thin cement and get it in there to really seal it up. And there you go. Next. Boy, these things are really stuck. They've been on here for a while. They're really sticking to that tape. I pretty much painted them and left them on there. I left the bottom part unpainted. You can't see it. There's no way. Even with this being a bottom piece, you're gonna see underneath of those. And then that gives me bare plastic to glue to. I really should be scraping the paint off of these areas, but this glue's been doing pretty good on and also it called for gray right there. Say it's this one. I actually went down into the area it's supposed to be glued because I don't know how far up that's actually going to go. I mean, it seems like they want them to. They can take one edge. It's supposed to fit in there fairly loose, but probably like that. And it's only just a hair there that has to get shaved off, but I like it sitting just like that. Come back and touch up anything I... Alright, this is one that we didn't glue. And this part of the saucer has a good warp in it too. The top one's really good. The top one's great. This one here has a little bit of warp. But it's not looking like it's going to give me any fight to when I close it to the bottom. It seems to fit pretty good. A clamp, you know, which is already going to be there anyway. We'll fix that problem. And there we go. And there, I'm so happy that all that's there. There is down. Windows are in. Let's go through and make sure everybody's... Did I get that window in? Oh, I missed one. Look at that. Well, let's see if we can get it in now. I did miss one. Ooh! Caught that one on a little bit on fire there, but it's still, it didn't turn black. Sometimes they'll turn black and you don't want to use them. No, I didn't have any glue left. Barely a little bit. Starting to clump. Enough to get it in there, I think. Fiber optics in my way. go. I mean, I thought about doing it this way where I'd have to sneak it underneath. Now, can I get... Yeah, I need more glue. I'm not even going to use the brush. I'll just squirt it on there. That's that one there. I don't even do it at all. There we go. Now let's just get in the ones in the back. Or all the rest of them. But I at least got those in. So I can get these glued on. Keep going through and pushing down. Pushing down and kind of pushing up at the same time. And there we go. And that adds so much more detail, just those pieces. Alright, we're good with this. And I'll take some of this extra. Then I'm going to use the quick set. Hit each one with this. That way if it hits any of the paint I don't want, it's so thin and so fast evaporating. It's mostly solvent. And sometimes I even wonder if it even helps the other glue dry. I doubt it, because it at least helps hold it. It'll melt an area and then dry really quick. I think we hit every part, I believe. There we go. Okay, I can feel how solid they are already. It's still squishing a little bit of squishiness. And that quick set will really help it start to... well, and then I just gotta touch that gray up. Clean the glue off of here. I don't remember to mark her. I marked one. I think it was that one. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of had one. I'm going to use one of these instead of that one. I like to mark stuff I use for like washes, and I also mark one I use for decals so it's always clean. I can see it. Now, you. Oh, that brush. And I'm going to order some new brushes. I want a good set. Like, not good, like, expensive. Like, just a nicer set that I save for nicer stuff. Alright. There we have it. Now I'm just going to hit it with a clear. I'll hit these little spots with some blue. And then I'll hit it with a clear, and then we can start gluing this together. But yeah, this one I want to get the holes through so I can get ready for the wiring. I am going to use a base, wood base that I already have that I was using for the refit 350 to hold it while I was working on it and painting it. So I'll just lightly sand all the overspray off it and figure out what color I want to do. I want to come up with something different. I've done the black with the silver, like, mist kind of thing. I've done the black with the kind of bronzy mist thing. I do like, you know, the darks with the metallics. This is a space station in space, so I'll probably do something to that effect. But maybe add some other colors to it. I don't know. I think it's simple, just do the black and the silver and the mist to do it. The splatter. It gives it almost like a silver flake look. Or maybe a gold. I'll have to see if there's something inspiring from, like, their shows or something like that. Or see what other people have done just to give me an idea. Or do I do, you know, use the colors like these light blues. But I'd rather have the base be just kind of dark. I do like this. Do I have it? Do I have any left? I do. I would have enough, probably. This flat burnished amber. It has a silver flake already in it. That looks really good, and then you can kind of highlight edges with a copper or gold or bronze or brass even. You know, something in a goldish kind of color on it, and it worked really good. So I'll figure something. I think we're just going to keep it simple black with a little bit of maybe a mist something. If not, just solid black. But there we have it. Where's your top? See it? Here's the centerpiece. Go on there, but we got to drill that out for and I think a rod that I have will fit right in that And then we'll drill that out and come in here, and then we'll clamp it. We'll bolt it on this side. And she will be good. It's looking good. That's that one, and this is the other. This is the top, already sealed. That looks really good. We got the purple LEDs in there. I'm gonna blacken the so they don't light bleed into this part. But yeah, now we're pretty much both at the same spot. We just got to clear this one, seal it down, and then we'll do washes, and then we'll put a flat coat to it. Oh, and I am going to hit it with a, because this is two grays. Like you can see this gray there. That's the main color, and then I missed it with a. I did a black, then that gray, and then I mixed it with Tester's light aircraft gray that gives it this tannish, grayish kind of color. I'm going to come up real high and mist it so that the blues and the grays and everything kind of are less contrasty. I did that a lot with the Falcon, used the hull color when I did the reds and the dark grays all around the ship, and then I misted it, and it gives it that chipped up, you know, faded kind of look. So, and then I did the black, you know, and colored everything light so you can still see, you know, some shading, pre-shading kind of thing. But she's looking good, so till next time. I think then that we will actually be putting it together, because I think I'm going to save the misting, because I want to mist in between the ship too. I still have some seam issues to fix in there. It's way too hard to putty. I mean, you could putty, yeah, it would be way too hard to get in there and putty that. So I've been using the gray surface primer and brushing that in there, and kind of hard to see, but that seam right in the dead center where these two come, you know, is mostly good. Right here is the spot where it's kind of bad, so that won't be the hero side. But for the most part, it kind of looks just like a hull seam. So what we'll do is, I think that's fine. I just got to get in there. Since it's a gray, it already blends in. I just got to add that tannish aircraft gray, so I'm just going to a little bit in there. And if I can get a little bit on the windows, the hangar bay door windows, it'll be fine. The light will still blast through, because it's just going to be a quick, nothing to really paint cover. You're going to be real far away. So we got to do that, but I'll do all that as a whole. I just got to pick. I just got to pick and choose the little spots on here. You only see a few. You look at the box, and I can't find a bigger picture or somebody else's picture of it, but you see like a blue there on just that one whole triangle section. You see a blue there, and this one it just has a blue there, and this one it just has a blue there. So I know where three are. Do I just do that and repeat, so then I can pick these two and put it on the other two, since there's 5 of them? Or do I, you know, take liberty and kind of combine like this and that one, and then that and another one, and move this, you know, around, and the opposite on the upper parts? I think that's what I'm going to do, to give a little more there. I think Boyd from Trekworks did the same thing. He added more than what they're showing on here. But this is all you got for paint reference, you know, and that was hard enough to see. I thought I could find them online. A lot of times people have images on the box online and would have these images, and that's all you see. But yeah, you only got, you know, there, and there shown on the box, so we'll figure it out. I think I'm just gonna combine them and have 2 blue splots per, but move them around. So, but that's all I have for today. Like I said, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is get this drilled through and this drilled through, so I can get a rod on there, and then we can glue this base down. Start gluing these saucers down. The top's ready to go. Like I said, I'm just going to block those bottom of those LEDs. But until next time, thanks for watching.